Hello everybody and welcome to the third round of the 2025-26 Formula Kart season around DS for Mario Circuit. After last race's challenge for pole, let's see what this track has in store for us, with its piranha plants, winding road out of the woodlands, and double hairpin for the final corners. A reminder for those watching though, that being hit 3 times by a piranha plant's fireball is a DNF. Otherwise, our drivers can keep their foot down until the checkered flag. With that, let's take a look at qualifying, shall we? It's another double elimination for the BBIA team, with Kyle taking P12 and Xander P10, whilst Elemental slots into P11. In Q2, we saw Matthew subbing in for Harry at Mushroom Piston taking the P9 grid slot, with 1-Up's Corey in P8 and Bowser Oil's Brandon sits in P7 after narrowly missing out on a Q3 appearance. In Q3 though, Poppy drops into P6 after showing top 3 pace in the earlier qualifying sessions, with Vex debuting for the season alongside her in P5 for Roy Smooth Sounds. After a challenging time around Mario Circuit 3, Tame has put in a solid time to start P4 next to the other man in pink, John, who's sitting best of the rest in P3. On the front row though, it's back to the usual order then, as George beats Connor to the pole slot by 0.2 seconds as the pair sit firmly ahead of the rest. All can still change though with the race ahead. Let's see what chaos awaits our drivers as they line up on the grid. The grid is ready and all that's left to do is go racing, so it's 3 red lights. And away we go around Mario Circuit as the drivers shoot round turn 1 and up the hill, but what's happened to Matthew behind?
Let's get another look at this unfortunate race start for Matthew as he appears to have stalled the car there. Not the best start to his race.
Up the hill now with Connor, he's got Poppy and Brandon for company, it's close. Oh, that's a fireball and Connor tumbles down the order, but who's that in the off-road?
Big off for Elemental there as he seems to have just entirely locked up and missed the turn, rejoining the track safely at least.
Out of the tunnel and up the hill we go with Corey now, they're close behind John, they get the draft ahead and shoot past out of the woods. To the end of lap 1 now at the back, Elemental and Kyle haven't quite the battle, as Elemental is trying to salvage something from this race. It's a brilliant move up the inside of turn 1. Lap 2 now, it's through the tunnel again. Corey gets the draft behind John, looking to make a move. Oh, they collide! What's happened there?
As we get a look at Corey's POV, he almost took out John with him just barely clipping him.
John's lost out there as on the recovery drive, Connor makes a sensational move as he then gets across John and then onto Brandon now.
Leaving action there for a second there, mate. It looks as though Corey has been noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage, overtaking Xander with no intention to hand back the position. The stewards will no doubt be busy investigating that incident.
Back to the battle, Connor's got Brandon and Corey is indeed under investigation for that incident. We'll have to wait and see on that one as we head on to lap 3. In the lead, it's been quiet for George, but he's gone off slightly there, and through goes Poppy! Incredible, but into the tunnel, they're side by side, and George gets back past. With Xander now as he goes wide, and there we go, Corey receives a 2-place grid drop after the race for the earlier incident. To the line now, George takes the win with Poppy closely following behind for P2. In P3, it's been rather quiet since the start as Vex takes the 3rd step on the podium behind Connor being hurried along by John and Brandon. It's close, but Connor holds off at P4 with John and Brandon P5 and 6. Corey's crossed the line in P7, but with that penalty, Tame's P7 instead, and Xander will be up into P8, but oh, late move!
What an absolutely extraordinary move made by Xander at the last second of the race.
Behind all that, it's Elemental P10, Matthew P11, and Kyle takes P12. What a race that has been! Here we are then, George takes yet another clean sweep pole to win here, but not without some competition, as Poppy stormed through the field to be on his bumper by the end in P2. Behind, Vex can't complain about that season debut, as they take the final step of the podium for Roy Smooth Sounds. Connor falls off the podium, however, and takes P4 with John and Brandon very close behind in P5 and 6. Rounding out the points is Xander in P7 and Tame in P8, after Corey faced a 2-place penalty taking them from P7 to P9, with their teammate Elemental behind in P10 after they took to the off-road early lap 1. Rounding off the finishers is Matthew in P11 and Kyle in P12. In the driver standings, George continues to grow his lead to Connor in 2nd, as Poppy moves to 3rd and John to 4th, while Xander slips down to 5th. With a podium in their pocket, Vex lands on the table in 9th, just behind a bulk of the midfield, and Tame scores their first point, getting them off the mark and into 12th, with Matthew and Kyle yet to score. In terms of the constructors, it's a similar story for the leader, as George's max points haul and Brandon's 6th grows their lead to Royce Smooth Sounds behind. In the mid-pack, Mushroom Piston have taken back their 3rd place by a single point to Princess Orange, and BBIA does the same to One Up Racing for 5th. That's all we have for you here around DS Mario Circuit, but we'll soon be racing again as we head to GBA Mario Circuit, with its oil leaks, tight final corners, and a raised hairpin certain to shake things up. For now though, we say goodbye, and thank you for watching.